Everyone treats summer like it owes you happiness. Long days, pool parties, your best life on a loop. So what does it mean when you feel worse? The summer blues are real. It's why summer is one of the busiest stretches of the year for people starting therapy. Therapy is not only for when you're in crisis. Growth therapy is for all the moments when you decide you want more. More support, more clarity, more tools. Mental health isn't a destination you reach. It's something you build, and Grow makes that easier. Grow connects you with thousands of high-quality licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. The therapist you want takes your insurance on Grow. Grow accepts over 125 insurance plans. Sessions average $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/book now today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/book now. growtherapy.com/book now. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
Cozy season is ahead, and you'll be spending way more time inside. Is your home ready? Don't worry. With Wayfair, you can upgrade your space without breaking the bank. Score up to 70% off during their Labor Day clearance on furniture, area rugs, mattresses, and more. Plus, surprise flash deals you can't miss. Whether it's one room or the whole house, Wayfair has pieces for every style and budget. Shop Wayfair's Labor Day clearance now through September 7th at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Sit back and relax and get ready for another exclusive episode of the Online Marketing Secrets Podcast with Lopez.
In the dark corners of the internet, a different kind of marketer is born. They don't chase the light. They wait for it to fade. Survive while others disappear. Adapt when the giants change the rules. Compound until your presence is unavoidable. No following, no budget, no connections, just persistence. Monetize the silence you've mastered. Every post, every pixel building your empire. Repeat until you are the only one left standing. Don't be a star, be a survivor. The Cockroach Marketer. Become impossible to ignore. Available now.
Even if you're looking at the playback. So today, man, I wanted to talk about how AI is changing how people get jobs in this day and time. AI is definitely changing how people apply for jobs, especially how they get jobs. And I have a lot of experience with this. I'm telling you, the job, the whole interview process is really, it wasn't perfect in the first place, to be honest. I remember when I was growing up, people wasn't even using resumes to get jobs. I remember when I got my first job when I was 15. It was a summer job at the time. They didn't ask you for no resume. They just you would fill out an application from top to bottom, like one page, and you basically get the job. Now plus there were other times where other places where you might have knew somebody that knew somebody. That's how you got the job. And so it wasn't even no application. It wasn't no resume needed. You would work probably an hour or two, or maybe 4 hours. And by the time lunchtime comes, you would either stay or leave. And then if you like the job, then they would say, hey, take this paper and fill this out for payroll. This is how you get paid. That's how it was when I was growing up. You know, and this was a summer job for me. You know, I didn't run into a resume until I didn't have nobody ask me for a resume until 1995, I want to say, when I heard people start talking about resumes. You got to get your resume right. I didn't even know what a resume was. I'm like, what the hell is a resume? You got to get your resume right. Got to get your resume right. But I didn't even know how to. First, I didn't know what a resume was. I didn't know how to create a resume. I didn't even know that was foreign to me at the time. I didn't even know how to create a resume. And by this time, I was going in the military around this time. And when it was time for me to go in the military, I didn't need no resume. They gave me an application, signed out all of this. It was like, 10 pages, some shit like that at the time. And they said, hell, we'll get back to you if you're a good fit. Somebody we can use, basically. That's how it was. Resumes was a new thing when I was 17 years old. By the time I got out the military, everybody was asking for a resume. Damn near every company was asking for a resume by the time I got out the military. This is like 2000, year 2000, Y2K, like some people like to say. That's when damn near every company I went to was asking for a resume. And I still didn't have a resume at the time. So I'm like, what the hell? How do I create this damn resume? And, I didn't know how to do it, And I bought my first computer in 2003, I want to say. No, 2002, 2003, somewhere in between there. I bought my first computer, and my computer came with a resume builder at the time. So I said, oh, okay, this is how I can use this to create my first resume. And that's exactly what I did. Now, I didn't know if it was a good resume, bad resume, I don't know. But when I around this same time, I was taking classes. I was starting classes, right? So I took classes, and there was a girl in my class that helped me with my resume, because she said my resume was trash at the time. She said it was trash, man. I said, oh man, okay. So can you help me? She's like, yeah. So she helped me get my resume right. And I started, everywhere I would go, people would ask me for my resume. So I said, here you go. Right? Now, there wasn't no title resume like it is today. Today, if you take out your resume is supposed to be specific for every job, right? I wasn't doing that back then. Nobody was doing that back then, because the resume was a new thing. You know what I'm saying? So I would have a basic resume of all my experiences and all my jobs. And at the time, I only had 2 jobs, military and summer job. So I ain't really had a lot of experience, not really. So I would pass everywhere I would go. They ask my resume, here you go. And I didn't know if I was getting a good response, bad. I didn't know, because it was new concept. But then something happened. I realized that every 2 years, the resume would upgrade. It would be like a change. The HR people of these companies would say, hey, we want your resume to be like this. Every 2 years, if you really pay attention, or probably every year now, every year, in this day and time, every year. But back 20 years ago, every 2 years would be some type of upgrade, some type of change. Your resume got to be like this. Your resume got to be like that. And then email started to be, people started using email more and more, you know. And there's always some change, some upgrade. We don't like this, we don't like that. They started having workshops with people talking about resumes. People started creating resumes for people, and whoop-de-doo and all this up to this. And I realized the whole resume thing, the whole process is just a way to have people jumping through hoops. You know, I'm like, the whole interview process is just a way of, it's a filtering process, you know, just to basically see how far people are willing to go to get a job, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. I don't, and you never really know what people are looking for when they interview you or when they pull your resume. You don't really know. You might have an idea, but you don't really know what these people are looking for. You really don't. And if anyone tells you they know what somebody's looking for at any of these companies, they're lying to you. Nobody really knows what they're looking for. They never really tell you. They'll say stuff, oh, we're looking for somebody that's a good fit in our culture. What culture? They don't really have no culture. They just have a bunch of people in there that have their own agendas. You know, that's what it really is. It's people just be talking. The stuff that they talk about is usually the opposite in most cases. They want people that will fit into whatever they got going on, whatever that is. But it ain't no culture. You know, culture is a place that people get things done. You know, it's not a lot of things being done in a lot of these big companies. Yeah, they're not. So the whole process, interview, resume process is kind of broken, in my opinion. You know, it's kind of broken. Now, with the exception of AI, makes it even worse, because now you have software filtering resumes now. But they started that like 10 years ago. They have a resume system. I forgot what they call it, but they started like about 10 years ago, probably a little longer than that. You know, basically, whereas it used to be a machine. They would put a stack of resumes on top of the inside the machine, and it was the resumes. They'll put in like keywords that they want, or positions, or whatever keywords, whatever they're looking for. They would input that information in the software. And what would happen is the machine would go through all the resumes and kick out the ones that they want, right? And then I seen it where they have software that goes through the emails. All the emails that come in, the software will go through all the emails, and they'll send the emails to the HR person, the ones that they're interested in. I seen that happen too, you know. But basically, it's a filtering process, because you got to think about it. These companies have hundreds of emails coming in a day, hundreds of resumes. You have most of the resumes come in through email. That's through their website, Indeed, or some type of job posting website. Glassdoor, ZipRecruiter. It's a bunch of these websites. That's where most of the resumes gonna come through. And in most cases, these recruiters or HR personnel, they don't check them websites. They don't really check them in most cases. Now they might check Indeed, but Glassdoor, they don't really check them websites like that. No, they don't. You know, based on my experience, you know, and I've talked to a lot of these HR people. You know, most of them, they're gonna lie to you. You got to catch them at the bar or something like that. You know, but they'll lie to you. You know, in most cases, when it comes to these jobs, they already know the person that they want to hire. It's just do that person that they want to hire want the job? That's the thing. They already know the person that they want to hire. You know, they're just trying to keep their options open by having people apply for these jobs. Because if the person they want doesn't want the job, then they'll, you know, give it to somebody else that they picked out in amongst the crowd of resumes that they have. That's usually how the games go with these HR people. You know, if you believe that these HR people have no clue who they gonna hire, I got a bridge in Brooklyn you can jump off of. It don't go like that. You know, you don't even know who they're looking for in most cases. It's like I said, you got to keep that in mind. Even when you go, you might have an interview, whether it's through Zoom or in person today. They don't even tell you, they don't even really tell you what they're looking for. You might have a 10, 20, 30-minute conversation with somebody over the phone or maybe through Zoom or in person. They don't really say much. They just say, "Oh, okay, I found what I needed to know. You have a nice day, sir. If you have any questions, I'll talk to you later, or whatever. You know, it'll be something like that." That's how it usually go with a lot of these recruiters. And then the problem, most HR people, I found don't know how to interview properly. They don't know how to ask the right questions. Then most of the recruiters are trash, you know, and most of the recruiters are not being taken seriously. So the problem with this is if the wrong recruiter tries to recruit you and that recruiter is not taken seriously by the people in that company, well, your resume doesn't go nowhere. You know, so the whole interview resume process is kind of broken, in my opinion. You know, this is why the best way to get a job is not to go to the websites, Indeed or Glassdoor. That's not really. I'm not saying you shouldn't apply. You might get through. But that ain't the best way, in my opinion. The best way to I'm not gonna say the best way, but because I've done. There's a lot of different ways to apply for a job. You can go through the front door, the side door, the back door. You know, the best ways to get jobs are not being talked about in most cases. You know, and even if you told someone, because I've told people how I send my resume to people, some people are not willing to do it. They're just not willing to do it. They just rather just keep doing whatever they're doing because everybody else is doing the same thing. So that's just, you know, it's weird. People are weird, man. You know, yeah. Because you got to look, the market is oversaturated. So how are you going to get through? It's probably not going to be through email or probably get through some job posting site. Probably not going to be. That's probably not. You probably not going to get through. They have hundreds of resumes coming through every day. You got to think about that. So what's so special about your email? I'm just saying, you know, you got to think about that. Now, some people say, well, the best way to get a job is to know somebody. Well, what about if you don't know nobody? I mean, most of the time, the jobs I got, I didn't know nobody. So you can't depend on that. That ain't no good strategy. You need a better strategy than that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's great if you know somebody, but most of the jobs I got, I didn't know nobody. I had to find a way to get through the pack. Well, some people say, well, just go to the company and go door to door and knock. Well, a lot of companies today, they don't want to see you. They don't want you to come up there no more. Like back in the day. They don't want to see you. So you got to become more strategic today, and with AI they're using the AI to do most of the work. So if your resume don't have certain keywords in it, you ain't gonna be able to cut through. If you tried to do it like most people, go about it, and that's how it's going. You can't call them, can't call nobody no more. You can't really email nobody. What's the email of the person in HR? Shit, I don't know. So you can't call them. You probably won't be able to email these people at these companies, and you can't go up there. They said, don't call us. We'll call you. Don't come up here. We'll call you. They'll send you to damn Indeed.com or ZipRecruiter or Glassdoor to apply for the job, like everybody else is doing. You have hundreds and hundreds of people applying every day. These HR people are getting boatloads of emails. So the chance of you getting through is slim to none. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you need a better strategy. So that's what I did. I don't know anybody, so that's out. So I have to find the address and try to get through that way. Yeah, if I want the job bad enough, I'm just saying, some people aren't willing to go to that extent. I did a couple times, and I tell you what, I got an interview. I didn't always get the job, but I got an interview. See, most of the time, and then let's say you do get the interview. Most of the time, the person interviewing you, they don't even know how to interview people. They're not asking the right questions, and they're not even doing the hiring in most cases. What type of HR person is that? And then when you get there, after the HR person interviews you or somebody else interview you that ain't got nothing to do with HR, because the HR person might not be there. So now the person that interviewed you is inexperienced. So all kind of shit happens with these companies. Based on my experience, and now you got interviewed once, and now the manager is interviewing you. Well, that's 2 interviews in one day, same company. And the thing that I dislike, let's say the HR person might have liked you, but the manager don't. So now you're not getting the job now. So you just spent probably 2 hours at this damn company. Let's just be conservative. You spent 3 hours of your day. You woke up, got dressed, got in your car, drove 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, however long it took to get to that company. You got there, you wait in the lobby, you checked in, you had to wait in the lobby. More than likely, that's over an hour already. Over an hour of your time already. By the time they see you, it's an hour and a half of your time. You go in the back, talk to the HR person. The interview lasted 30 minutes. That's 2 hours. Then she like, hey, I like you. I'm gonna let you talk to the manager. So they tell you, go back out in the lounge and wait. So you waiting another 10, 15, 20 minutes. Because the manager at lunch. So the manager comes finally. You go back in his office and talk to him for 30 minutes? That's damn near 3 hours of your time. Right there. And then You leave on the way out. You realize that dude didn't like you. He or she, the manager didn't like you. The HR person liked you. But guess what? You're not working with the HR person. You're working with the manager. So if the manager doesn't like you, you ain't getting the job. So think about this for a second. You just spent 3 hours of your life, 3 hours of your time trying to get a job, and it didn't work out. God, this is why the job interview process is just broken. You know, because you don't know. People aren't hiring based on what the job duties are. People are hiring based on personality, nationality, and if they're comfortable with you. And people are hiring people for everything else except for what the job entails. You know what I'm saying? So there's plenty of people that go through this process and they find out they don't get the job, and a lot of people are heartbroken. They're like, oh man, shit, I've been trying to get this job for 2 months, 6 months, a year, however long they've been applying and following up through email. You follow them up on LinkedIn. You follow up the HR person. You follow the HR person. You got people that's actually trolling people, following them around on LinkedIn. Where else they follow people at? Got the email. They managed to get the email. They send them an email every once in a while. They keep following up with some HR person or some recruiter. They've probably been doing this shit for years. And they ain't never got a damn job following none of these goddamn people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say the whole process is broken. You know? And AI don't make it any better. It don't. Like getting a job today is like being a goddamn politician. You know, people are hiring for everything else but the job function. You know, it's like you have to be a damn politician to get a goddamn job today. My goodness. You know, and a lot of people are heartbroken when they get rejected after an interview because all the time and the networking, that the meetups they attended, and the Zooming meeting up with people. I mean, people are heartbroken, man. You got people on LinkedIn I see leaving a post saying they've been unemployed for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and they've been sending resumes, ain't got no response. You got people with the master degrees, ain't getting no response. You know what that does to somebody? You so highly educated. You might have had a white collar job for 10, 20 years of your life, or even longer than that. You get laid off, and now you can't get no job. You're not getting no response. Oh man, you know what that does to a lot of people's confidence? And now you got AI that's doing most of the work for HR. The HR person don't really have to do much of anything no more. They don't even have to look at the damn resume. Most of the resumes don't even have to look at no more. That the AI qualifies and does all the searching for the HR people now. And the HR people, they're gonna lie to you and tell you that, oh, you're just not qualified for this position and all that. But the HR person ain't telling you what they're really looking for. And the recruiter ain't really telling you what they're looking for either. So they both lying to you. You know, a lot of times these companies, these people discriminate. If you're fat, let's strike against you. Sometimes they're not looking to hire a man. Sometimes they're looking to hire a woman. That's how it is. They're not looking to hire. If you're black, sometimes they might not be looking to hire you. Depending on how much the pay is. You know, a lot of times, this is based on my experience. If you're a black person, they don't take the first offer. They try to lowball you. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't get the benefit of the doubt. A lot of times, you have a lot of, this is something I experienced too. You have recruiters that they just going through the motion. They're not really looking to find nobody, you know? Now, I could be wrong. I thought recruiters got paid. I'm talking job recruiters. I thought job recruiters got paid to find people. But apparently that's not the case, because a lot of job recruiters will send emails, call people. You don't necessarily have to answer the phone. They'll leave a message and saying whatever, and they'll keep going through that motion all day. And I figured out a lot of job recruiters, they don't really get paid for finding people no more. It's probably something like that, but it doesn't seem like they get paid for results, because some of these people can barely speak English, and and it looks like they're just going through the motion. They'll call you, as soon as you answer, they'll hang up, or if you don't, or they'll send you an email. It apparently, it doesn't matter if you reply back to them or not. So I guess they got some new pay system or whatever that they have based on how they get paid, apparently, today. So this is what I'm talking about. The whole system is broken, corrupt, So this is why so many people are unemployed, because a lot of people don't understand how the game is being played against them. They think that the game is fair. You have people that interview for jobs, and they'll read the job posting, and they really think that they're looking for what's entailed based on the job. That whatever they got posted, people actually believe that shit, but they're not. They're not really looking for that. They'll say something. They'll say, "Well, I'm looking for 10 years experience in social media marketing." Almost nobody has 10 years experience in social media marketing. Or they'll say 20 years. Almost nobody has 20 years experience in social media marketing or digital marketing. It's nobody. There's only less than 10% people that's been doing social media for 20 years. That's going to be a small number, and I'm one of them. I don't know a lot of people that's been doing it longer than me, And then I asked a recruiter about that. I said, "Hey man, you're not gonna find nobody with no 20 years social media experience." And he was like, yeah, it's not a big deal. I just put that in there just for show." And so it's that type of thing that's going on. A lot of things are being said and done online, and they're not really looking for that. But people believe that that's what they're looking for based on what they say. So a lot of people are being misguided, lied to, and that's how it is. And I don't see it changing anytime soon. With the emergence of AI and everything, it's not going to change. It's going to get worse. It's going to be more lies being put out here. And pay attention. Every year, some HR person or some type of futurist type person or somebody that the media puts out there talks about how AI is going to be or what's going to happen to the economy and all this. Every year, they're gonna say what's the next new thing or next new wave coming out or whatever. And you be looking at some of this stuff and you be like, how the hell is gonna help me? You sitting over there where you living at unemployed, you don't have enough money coming in, and you trying to figure out how the hell why these people on TV? They're not really talking about anything that help anybody out here. And it just is common today. people are saying stuff and you be like, it doesn't mean shit. I mean, they said a bunch of bullshit, basically. In 10, 15 minutes, they said a bunch of bullshit. So the game is rigged. It's you just have to look at what everybody else is doing and find ways to go around it, against it. Because if you're doing what everybody else is doing, you're going to get the same results. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you need any help with your resume, just leave me a comment below this video and I'll reach out to you. You know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with this type of stuff before AI. So I know it's just strategy at the end of the day. That's how you that's how you stick out in the crowd. So hey, share this episode. And P.S. and by the way, check out my best-selling book, The Cockroach Marketer, on Amazon.com. Check it out, man. You'd be surprised. So that's all I got. Share this episode. And don't forget.
If your fashion wish list lives rent-free in your brain, you need to be on Poshmark. With Poshmark, you're shopping millions of listings from thousands of closets, each curated by someone with their own style. Vintage finds, designer pieces, and everyday staples all in one place. Search for your favorites or let the discovery come to you. Poshmark makes it easy to find what you actually want to wear at prices that feel like a quiet win. Download the Poshmark app today and use code PODCAST10 when you sign up to get $10 off your first purchase.
Are you noticing your car insurance rate creep up even without tickets or claims? You're not alone. That's why there's Jerry, your proactive insurance assistant. Jerry handles the legwork by comparing quotes side by side from over 50 top insurers so you can confidently hit buy. No spam calls, no hidden fees. Jerry even tracks rates and alerts you when it's best to shop. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Don't settle for higher rates. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/libsyn today. That's jerry.ai/libsyn.
A text says, "You're on my mind." A bouquet from 1-800-Flowers says, "You're my everything." Heartfelt moments belong in the real world, not just your phone. For 50 years, 1-800-Flowers has helped millions of people make memories that'll last a lifetime with gifts they'll cherish forever. Their expertly curated arrangements and gift baskets ship nationwide with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Don't wait for the next big moment. Make it when you visit 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/podcast.
We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Subscribe.